bunny, 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 bunny. And now I can play games, watch shows, do anything that I want on PC, and it feels great. I'm gonna tell you about my experience. It took a while, but I'm actually okay with it because it let me kind of just vibe and go with the flow, not feel too stressed or pressured to complete it within a time frame. I had some other projects I was working on, so at that time, this wasn't at the top of my list, but I liked the fact that I was able to, here and there, when I felt like it, you know, research more, talk with my friends over Discord, ask some questions and get some advice. And because of this, I feel like I was able to absorb the information that I received a lot better than me trying to research it all at once and then try to do it ASAP. This way I got to really think about what each part is and how they can kind of go together, just stuff like that. I know we have PC part picker, but then there's a lot of different things too you need to be kind of aware of. So I'm really glad that I was able to kind of take the time and enjoy it since it was the first time ever building a PC. Kind of a little background, I played a few PC games before, just either using my MacBook or like my parents' old PC when I was little, you know, Neopets and Dragon Fable and early RuneScape kind of era basically. But then afterwards, I'd never had a PC, it was just too expensive. All I really played throughout my whole life was console games anyways, because I grew up playing Zelda or games that were mostly just on specific consoles. But whenever I joined Discord, I'd always see my friends playing games together. I would just kind of watch them stream it live, but I'm really excited now that I can finally join them and just be able to play games that I've been wanting to for so long, but they're only available on PC. So I'm really excited for that as well. So I made the decision to build a PC. Then I reached out to my friends, who a lot of them have built their own PC or upgraded their PC or just have a lot of knowledge about building PCs for some reason. So I hopped on Discord, just had a couple of conversations here and there and asked some questions. In the beginning, I was so confused because they'd be like, oh yeah, i5, 365, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm like, I don't know what these numbers are. Or they'd be like, oh yeah, you need a GPU, CPU, mobile or something at that time, and I was like, whoa, what are you guys talking about? But I felt bad asking them to really dumb it down for me. So I still kind of took notes, but then I was like, okay, I'm gonna join this conversation after I do my own research. So I just started going on YouTube and seeing how to build a PC, and they would talk about all these different parts. Then I'd research, what are these parts? What do they do? How do they work? How do they go together? Until I could finally feel confident enough to be like, okay, I know what a CPU is, I know a motherboard, I know what the RAM does, I know what the graphics card does, etc., etc. Once I felt comfortable with these items and the different brands and products, I went back onto Discord and talked with my friends, finally understood what kind of advice they were giving me because I have somewhat of an idea now. But alas, the prices were so expensive, so I was like, okay, I'll wait for Black Friday. But I didn't realize that everyone was gonna do the same thing, and everything was always sold out by the time I was trying to get it. So I had to wait a couple of months. Friends told me about Micro Center, how it's kind of like Fry's Electronics, where there's really good deals that you can find online and pick them up at the Micro Center. Currently, there's only one in California. It's a bit more farther from where I live, but luckily I'm in SoCal, so it wasn't too hard to get there. So I went and I was able to get a deal with the motherboard and the CPU, and I also got my monitor and my RAM there. Oh, another thing, I was able to get the 3060 Ti. Oh my god, so when it came out, my partner had told me about it and he stayed up the whole time. I went to sleep, but he messaged me in the morning to wake up at like 6 a.m. And then we waited in the virtual line to try to get those items. We just had a lot of websites open and it would sell out right away. And at that point, I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be too picky. This is my first PC. I'm not like a super pro gamer, so I was like, I'll probably enjoy a 10 series. But luckily, since I was just vibing and I wasn't in too much of a rush, my friend ended up having a 3060 Ti. He didn't realize at the time his current specs wouldn't really match the graphics card, so sorry for him, but lucky for me. So thank you, Mark. I was able to buy it off of him, and now I'm able to play with friends. So I just feel like my patience had allowed this graphics card to come. Okay, so other than all the advice from my friends, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos to tell me how to build a PC. So if you want to build a PC and you're very noob too, this might be something that becomes super helpful for you. What I did was watch videos about the specific case that I was using and how they put the cables through, etc, etc. I would watch like the specific motherboard, like where I would put my CPU, where I'd put graphics card, where I would put this, and it helped out a lot because all I did was just follow the steps. There were some parts that I had to kind of troubleshoot because I didn't want my build to be exactly like theirs. Mine was still kind of different. It was specific to what I had in my own build, so I kind of had to work around it. I did a lot of cable management, so that helped a lot, and in the end I was able to build my PC and I love how it came out. Yay! So let's get down to building! Time for my PC building montage. Okay, well, thanks friends for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video, and for anybody who is trying to build a PC too, I hope this helped. I know I didn't really go into any specifics, but I hope my process as being such a noob who knew nothing about all those numbers that my friends were speaking and how I used YouTube as my main source of research will inspire you to use YouTube. Anything that you have for your parts, just watch it on YouTube. Trust me, it's gonna make it a lot easier. And the motherboard manual is gonna help you out a lot too. I hope you have some good luck if you try to build a PC, and if you want to join me and play games with me, message me and maybe I'll add you and we can play Genshin, or we could play games in the future that will come out on PC. So okay, bye friends!